Bookkeeper Claire Wheatley with us, Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. Claire, congratulations on that honor. What was your reaction when you found out that news today?
I actually found out because my mom texted me, and I was like, "Wow, that's kind of cool." And I didn't really. She just said you won something, so I looked, and I was like, "Oh, yay!" Like so. Thank you for that. And yeah, it's fun. But I mean, obviously, it's not an effort totally by me, and my team is a big part of that. So that's good.
10 saves for you on Friday night. Certainly the conditions were challenging. What were some of the keys you think to keeping a clean sheet then on Friday with all that wind blowing around?
Yeah, obviously that was pretty crazy. That was some conditions we haven't had to deal with here very often. I think we've only had like one other significantly windy game. So I think that's going to be a big factor different when we play them again on Wednesday. So I'm excited for that. But I just wanted to do my job, and the wind, I mean, it has an effect, but I still want to keep the ball out of the net, wind or no, so it's fine.
And was, I think, the 7th shutout of the season for the team, maybe even the 8th shutout of the season for the team. And after last year, when it seemed like balls were flying at you nonstop for a lot of that year, just talk about the difference from last year to this year and how you think the defense has really improved.
Yeah, like I said earlier, that Defensive Player of the Week thing, it's not all me. I mean, my defense is doing an amazing job this year, and I cannot thank them enough for that. And a lot of those shutouts, you can credit to them too. I mean, I'm sure if we counted player blocks, they'd be pretty high too. So I think my team's saving just as many shots as I am, and I really credit them for that. So it's good.
And a lot of turnover on that back line, just with injuries and everything else going on. Catherine moved in there and played some on Friday night. Just talk about what you saw from her and kind of how you had to adjust with different personnel back there.
Right, Kat did a great job. I've said this before in other interviews. I mean, I trust everyone who's going to come in to step in and work their absolute hardest. And obviously it changes some of the instruction you have to give, depending on how new they are to the position or how nervous they are or confident or whatever. So I think it's just important to know what I need to do to make sure they feel confident in their role because, I'm confident in them and I want them to be confident in themselves. So it's important to relay that to them so that they're ready to step in and play their best.
Has there been much talk among the players about NCAA tournaments, postseason prospects for this team? Looks like probably need at least a couple wins this week in the Big Ten tournament, maybe to make that a reality. But what's the conversation been about in the locker room about that?
Yeah, I think we're taking it game by game. We want to win. We want to deal with the Big Tens first. A championship in the Big Ten would make it obvious, right? So I think we're just taking it game by game. Win this game on Wednesday, keep going into the next week, and we want to win the Big Ten, and I think that's game by game for sure.
Because the conditions were so kind of extreme on Friday, and does that maybe make a rematch against Wisconsin? It doesn't matter that you played 5 days previously because both teams kind of had to change how they did things.
Yeah, I would say the wind was a factor that's a completely different element and that we probably won't have to deal with as much on Wednesday, so I think it's going to be a completely different game, and I'm excited to play them on a more even-sided surface because the wind did play a huge factor for the team who had it.
Were you able to kind of see some things that maybe you'll see again just from Wisconsin, just in the way that they were able to attack? And I mean, they got off as the game progressed, a lot more shots, kind of later in the stages. Can you take something from that?
I mean, for sure. I mean, you talk about it in scouting, who the threats are going to be, and I think when you play them once, you really understand what kind of threat they're going to be in a different way than you can get from just your coaches telling you. So, I mean, I think that helps, but then again, they get that for us too. So I think we're both going to have to adapt to the fact that we just played each other, and while the conditions were crazy, I mean, we're still essentially the same team. So I think it's going to be fun to see what happens.
And not to dwell too much on some win, but I mean, just how much confidence does that give you personally that you were able to handle Wisconsin with unpredictable wind, and now you're not going to have that anymore? How much confidence does that give you?
I mean, it's confidence, and it's also we had the win for a half too. So I think it's, like I said, I think it's just a completely different game. I mean, I think we have confidence coming out, knowing that we tied them, we know we can beat them. We could have won that game for sure, and I think we're excited to play it again and see what happens.